discarding it. You fold it
and
up.
and he was he said something about or no, that was the quote, that was the line, was he said, he in the same same comment, he said something about the boys, and I was like, do you really think that we're not the ones that are watching the boys? Seriously,
Have they not met Eric Kepi? Have they not met him? This
like,
whole season.
Who do you think is watching it? And oh my God, how long did it take you to realize the boys was about you? And he wouldn't answer them. He would not answer them for the life.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. We're not going anywhere. Trust me. We'll be here. Turn out the light.
It was actually kind of driving me crazy because he just kept deflecting every time that somebody would ask him. I was like, that tells me that it was way longer than it needed to be. That tells me that it was it was sometime in season 4.
You dumb son of a bitch. I knew the boys was about Trumpers when I was buying the comic books. When I bought the comic books, I said, it smells like right-wingers.
I didn't even know it was a comic book before a show came out.
Oh, yeah.
There are very few comics that, like, I get the standard issue Marvel, DC, I get Dark Horse, Image, I get those things, but and I get the Superman, Batman, Justice League, Avengers, Wolverine, shit like that, but it's the comic books that take me off the beaten path that actually just make me go, I love this book. The Boys is one of them. The Boys is absolutely, without question, one of them. But I think The Boys, The Darkness.
A personal question, and you have to give me an answer. What is your favorite single comic book of all time?
My favorite single comic book of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Firestorm 100.
I'm gonna look that up.
The final issue of the Jerry Ostiver. I cannot pronounce that man. God damn it, I can't pronounce his last name. I know he was the writer, and John Mandrake was the artist. But the only reason I remember that is because I remember how sad I was. They had that Firestorm run took me through it, because we ended up with the standard issue Firestorm costume, but then he merged with like the nuclear fucking version of him to turn into this fucking Firestorm that just, like, the Elemental War is still my four of my favorite fucking comics.
Something you can't pronounce? Sodium glutamate. You can't even say it. I can say rat droppings. It does not mean I want to eat them.
You know, we've been fucking it up for years, right? Is Michael Jackson saying, I'm gonna say one more time, I'm not gonna stop, right? We fucked that up.
Yeah, but in one of his songs, he actually says something about being a vegetable repeatedly.
Yeah.
Is it that one? Is it a different song? And if you look at the lyrics, it's like, you're a vegetable.
It's Wanna Be Starting Song.
There you go.
You know what? No wonder Michael didn't want to talk to us. No wonder Michael didn't like his fucking fans. The man, he clearly said, I'm gonna say one more time, I'm not gonna stop.
Is this where we bring up the whole? Is this where we bring up the whole Mahershala Ali controversy?
Fuck you, Russian.
Mahershala.
Leave me alone. This is our last show on Hot 101. I'll be goddamned if both of y'all send me out.
Say it with me. Say it with me. Say ma.
Nope.
Ma.
Nope.
Ma.
We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Mahershala Ali. Ma.
You heard what the fuck I said. That Ali boy. That Ali boy. That boy from the Ali's. Him. That boy. Roger and Mamie boy. Him. That boy good. He a good actor. He got two Oscars and shit. I ain't playing with y'all.
Name again.
He said that boy name again. Give me Mishima. No, I ain't fucking with you. I ain't going there with you, man. Y'all are not gonna do this to me again tonight. Fuck you. It's not happening. It is not happening. Good evening, Richard. Bring your asses all up in here. This is our last show on hot101s.net. Next week, we will be having this show. Hey, two things. Number one, Gambit, do you want a position? Want a job? You want a job, honey? Chief social media content creator. Me and Jeff were talking about it today.
What do you mean?
Motherfucker, what the fuck I just say? Like, you are the content creator for social media. You are a social media head.
I think I do. Sure.
I think.
Shut your light-skinned ass the fuck up and just take the damn job. Be quiet. God damn it.
Yes. I accept.
Okay, thank you. Number two, next week I'm not running Streamlab. Y'all can run that shit, man. I don't know nothing about Streamlab. I don't know nothing about Streamlab. I don't know nothing. I know nothing. I don't know how to log in. I don't know how to log out. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing, man. So I'm leaving that shit up to you and George there, Gilbert. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm just saying.
I still want to know who this mysterious George person is, because
You've never met George.
No, she's never met
George
George.
is off.
Not yet.
But speaking of which, before we go live,
Wait a minute.
Gilbert, I'm sorry, real quick, Gilbert. We'll need to talk about scheduling a little bit every other week, because we do
we can
less
do
than
that.
an hour each time,
Yeah, we can
and
do
then we'll
that.
just release them a week at a time. Just my
We
kids here. By the time I got them home and I was settled, it was like, gosh, it's already
No, that's
almost
fine.
7 o'clock.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh.
We can do that, and
But I want to.
The mighty, ever popular, and soon to be permanently named Talking Shit with Assholes. God damn it.
Plot holes is better. Is
The show
marketable.
that just can't make up its name.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Come on.
Gretchen, shut up. You just like the fucking graphic. That's all. You don't think I can't make the same?
Man, I'm just saying, plot holes is a lot more marketable than talking shit
Hey,
with assholes.
if a boy is cute, I'm gonna say it.
The reason I'm saying it is because there are several shows already, there are several podcasts already called plot holes. Now we could call it plot a-holes.
That's actually kind of cool.
Long.
Before we go live, and as the duly recently appointed secretary of the Villains Guild,
Madam-
Gilbert, Gambit, Thomas, I just want to introduce you all. This is KJ. He's my friend. Trans man, martial artist. We've gone live together before. He was the second guest on the short-lived and now defunct Transponder podcast. Whatever, forget all that. But cool guy. Love to have him here. So
Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm
Hey,
really
she
happy
said
to be here.
She said a bunch
absolutely.
of. Wait a minute. I'm gonna hone on the one I have to ask about, right? I
What's
mean,
that?
I got to do it, and I hope you're not embarrassed by me saying this, but you were the second guest on Transponder.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hey, I didn't even get on Transponder.
You would have had, my
Had it continued.
never mind. Yeah, yes, had it continued.
All right, listen. Before,
Fuck.
let's get your fucks out of the way. Before,
Fuck.
I'm gonna get him.
Motherfuck.
Another one fucks the fuck.
The time this show's time on fucking Hot 101. So if I start crying, you bitches don't say a goddamn thing. You must.
I do not.
I was just that was just the announcement. That was just the
My-
fucking announcement. I wasn't even me.
Mine's going to be short and sweet, so you're going to have plenty of time, Tom. It's going to be short and sweet.
Because yeah, that's crazy. Right before we
1
get ready
minute to go.
I know.
1 minute.
There was a comic book called Our Worlds at War, and Wonder Woman's mom Hippolyta died, and all the members of the Justice Society of America were like playing cards, drinking, and stuff like that, and Wonder Woman, right at that time, they took a drink. They all got in their uniforms. Alan Scott and this Green Lantern, and it's like, let's send our girl home, all right. And that's, God damn it, I'm gonna start crying now, you sons of bitches.
Oh,
All right.
you gotta be strong. 9 p.m.
Ooh.
Oh, Jeff. God damn it, Jeff. It's
Do I
always
need to do a Wayne's World like 5? before.
We're here, and for the last time, ladies and gentlemen. But that's okay, because we're going to have one hell of a show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Villain's View on Hot101.net, streaming exclusively on Ghost Car Entertainment. My name is Thomas Bishop. I am known as the villain I have ever known. The cuddly teddy bear he's the Cabbage Patch doll with a great-looking beard. One day we're going to do a DNA test and find out that he is somewhere related to somebody who's related to somebody who's related to somebody who's related to somebody who's related to Barry White. Ladies and gentlemen, I know him as Nate. You guys know him as General Gambit. Gambit, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And then he comes in and screws it up. Like I give him these props. Because you were supposed to come in with the, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just said you were related to someone that was related to someone that was related to someone that was related to Barry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I should live up to my namesake, shouldn't I?
You're
Hello,
killing me,
everyone.
Charles. See? All right.
I'll give you what you paid for. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Appreciate nerds. Rules of Nerdquisition. I'm going to get it right one day. One half of the rules of Nerdquisition. The queen of the dad jokes, she's pigtailed out for whatever reason. She knew we was doing a show tonight. She decided, I'm owed my sister. You know her as Gretchen. Gretchen, say hello to everyone.
Well, hello, everybody, and thanks for stopping by. This is the last day of Pride. We will definitely address that. We're so happy you all are here. Back to you, Tom.
It's fun to say it. I almost said YMCA, but then I remember what that song was.
P-R-I-D. We said P-R-I-D-E-E-E.
I'm trying to tell y'all right now, I don't know why Donald Trump sings that song. If he listened to the lyrics, he'd know what the hell was going on at the YMCA.
There's a lot of songs that don't.
It's the only one he can get the rights
you
to.
did not listen to this.
Right?
Yes.
Probably.
Like,
Is the copyright expired, KJ? Is that why?
Every
To my bottom left is the angriest IT nerd on the East Coast. He is the other half of the Rules of Nerdquisition party. I know him. You know him. You love him. Y'all call him the angriest IT nerd. Dun, dun, dun.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in angry.
I try to come in at the end of that because I don't want us to get sued. Joe Hendry's gonna whoop our ass one day, and I'm telling you right now, Joe Hendry's gonna beat the snot out of us.
He's gonna whoop
And
your
he can
ass.
do-
He gonna have to.
I got bad knees. I can't run that fast.
Exactly.
And-
That's why I don't have to be faster than him. I have to be faster than you.
Let's face it, you're all fast with me.
so, stuff.
You got a
And
bum
our-
knee and
I know.
way
And
too.
our special guest this evening. Now, this is my first time meeting this gentleman, okay? Because Gretchen doesn't bring her good friends over to us. We always end up getting the ones that like smoking crack rocks outside and stuff like that. She bring a nice one over here, and it's the last show we're doing on Hot 101. From what I understand, this person, hold on,
Not quite.
I ain't done. Is the person that Chuck Norris looks underneath the bed for every night, because first time on the show, one Mr. KJ. What are your pronouns? I want to make sure I say them right.
he, him.
Okay, I did get it right this time. Mr. KJ. KJ, say hello.
Hello. I'm very honored to be here. I've been following your content for quite some time, so it's awesome to be able to be here, and I'm
For the love of God.
just happy that Gretchen invited me.
You were a no-brainer.
In other words, she don't invite over her good friends. Like, oh, she'll bring anybody else over. It's like
That way.
It was
What are you
like,
talking about?
But
Well,
Gretchen.
see, Thomas, see, here's the thing. I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but this is what we call as she's embarrassed of us.
Well, does that include me now since I'm here too?
What?
Is that
No,
is
no,
this
no,
the
no, no,
corner
no,
where
no.
she puts all the
No,
embarrassed
not you. No, she's embarrassed of us. That's why she didn't bring you here until now. She's embarrassed of us.
realizes
I
that,
wasn't put in.
you know,
I know I'm fairly
a week,
embarrassing, but
there's always that one moment where the sister can no longer hide her brothers. playing Madden, cussing out something. Angry's in the kitchen trying to, like make the toaster talk. And Gambit's walking around just, like Gambit's smoking weed in front of you and he's saying some old philosophical stuff like,
No.
Why are we doing all this?
If
No,
God
no.
didn't-
If it was me, I'd be in the kitchen listening to a Reddit story making omelets. That's what I
but
do.
still, Gambit,
Sounds like a good time.
Gambit's still going
It does. I
Gambit's
kind
still
of like an omelet right now.
while smoking weed.
I know, right?
Hey, you ever notice that when you smoke weed, you smell pine needles? You know why? Pine needles are like Christmas, and it reminds you when you smoke weed that Christmas is right around the corner. And then she goes, "I'm not bringing my friend over here."
You smell a skunk that someone ran over, and you don't go, ugh. You're like,
Listen.
You know, I have a
actually
story
did
about
run over
that.
the skunk.
Oh,
I actually did run over.
they
I
got?
smelled skunk after ran over, and no, it doesn't make me go. It makes me go, "Oh, come on, close the window."
There's one
I just
night.
know it's our last show, dog. Come on, come
I'll
on.
tell this story because it's kind of funny. All right, there's one night. I was my roommate and I decided we had the bright idea. We wanted to go for having.
Did you try to drive while smoking the devil's lettuce?
Oh, I did all the time. I still do it now.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Kayfabe, Kumite, man, you gonna get
Chateau.
arrested.
The chateau.
Dog, how you
Anyway,
gonna sit
so-
just confess the crimes
so-
on it?
So we are anyway. So we're going down the bright idea, having to
You going down the bright idea?
had the bright idea to drive down the road, having a little bit of a herbal essence, if you will.
Yeah.
I missed the turn, so I had to circle back around. And when I circle back around, I hit the smell of a skunk that somebody hit.
So you was smoking Reggie while hitting the skunk, or you was hitting the
Oh.
skunk?
Oh no, the skunk hit me after I hit the Reggie.
Oh.
And the skunk made me stone cold sober.
I bet it did. Listen,
Like
All
I
to get
I've
high.
never
That's one
sobered
way
up
to
so
wake
quick
up.
in my life.
whatever you plan on doing in life, once you smell a dead skunk on the side of the road, you won't be doing it
Said,
anymore.
look.
Like you be like, man, my wife, hey, she sent me this picture. She wearing this outfit. You can hear the Barry White in the back. I'm gonna love, and you
So,
get a
you
whiff.
can hear the music and everything like that, but the second you catch a whiff of it,
So, as Gretchen alluded to, this is the very last day of Pride 2024, and
officially. Pride, Pride for me, and I'm assuming for KJ, it's 365, 24/7.
Oh yeah,
Never ending.
we just get to be extra during June a little bit.
I will tell you, tomorrow, July 1st, starts White History Month.
Oh, man.
What?
Oh really?
By people of color and people in marginalized communities. Yeah,
Is that a real thing?
No.
it is now.
it is now.
Thomas
It
is
feels like
starting
it.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not
Thomas
yet.
is starting.
It feels like
Whenever
it feels
I
like,
hear,
it feels like White History Month needs to start out with the Price is Right theme song. Bum, bum, ba-da.
growing up-
White that you can't even help it.
Exactly.
what it reminds me of is when I was growing up, and you have Mother's Day and Father's Day, and you're some stupid little snot rubbing on your face kid. You're 8 years old. You're like, how come there's no Kids Day? And your mom looks at you and says, because Kids Day is every day. That
Yeah, pretty
applies
much.
to white people
Yeah.
too.
Actually,
I'm still going to use that GCPR background and do like a White History Month and do
tomorrow,
like a really bad.
tomorrow at some time during the Sound of Coffee, I'm going to say that today is the first day of White History Month, while humming "They Not Like Us" by.
Hey, I would just like to say though to Mr. Steve Bannon, Happy Independence Day.
Ooh. Stevie got himself a felony.
Did
Go
you
directly
guys
to
know
jail.
that?
Do not collect $200.
The chateau.
A little bit old felony. You getting ready to go jail, baby.
The
Walk your
chateau.
little what? Yes.
Did you guys know they tried to throw a straight pride parade a few years ago in Boston?
Oh,
Well, that was the very short-lived. What was it all? Remember the super straight movement?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I have a few men
AJ went
particularly
home.
who claim to be super straight, but I convinced them otherwise.
I was gonna say, we all know which dating site they're on.
Right.
All I'm
They're
gonna say
getting
is,
Oh, I know
clogged
that's
on,
true.
bruv.
listen,
I
bro,
never got hit on by men when I was a woman. You know, when I was living as a woman, I never got hit on by men. And as soon as I transitioned, I started getting hit on by men, and they weren't all gay, so they say.
all I'm gonna tell you is this: there are some men in America right now that are really upset that Craigslist no longer has men seeking men on there.
That
There's some guys
Yeah.
walking around here right
Yeah.
now. They went and got
God
themselves.
damn it! I've got to go to Grindr.
They went and got themselves an arsenal right
Mhm.
after it left. They were like, well, wait a minute, Donald Trump. Excuse me. What do you mean you're gonna get rid? What is sofa? What is sofa? I got a sofa. I don't want no sofa. Why you getting rid of sofa? What does sofa mean? And then they find out it's like, oh no, what it means is
Oop.
no men for men over there in the Craigslist ad boys.
no, they're on Grindr now, and I was traveling and I was in Ponta Delgada in the Azores just for like a couple of days, and there really wasn't any information on if there was a gay scene there or whatever. So I'm like, I know how I'll find out if there's a lot of gay people in the area. I'll download Grindr and open it up. Right? I didn't. I downloaded Grindr, made me put in like a username or something. I didn't put up a photo or anything. I just put trans man. And within 10 minutes, I had over 100 messages from local men,
Listen,
and they were 100. And it was like Ponta Delgada has a population of like 5. So where all these guys were from, like it was almost like every man in the town
all right.
have
So,
either looked at the profile or sent me an obscene message.
so
And
I,
I can tell you, there was no pride flags flying anywhere.
I want to do an over.
Probably not.
You know, the Republican convention is going to Milwaukee in this month in July, right? Someone
Yeah, me too.
in the Miss
Oh,
in the
different over
Milwaukee-
under. Sorry.
in the we have got to get this woman a date. We have been,
But no, like
you've only
KJ
been a part of
said,
this show
I
for
can-
6 months, and we.
I don't use Grinder, but literally I can go on sites like OkCupid or what have you, put up a profile, and the first line can be like, I am a trans woman, and by the end of the night I've got 50, 60, 70 messages. Now
I put trans man, and I never deleted an app so quick in my life. That thing lasted for like just a few minutes, and I was like, I have seen enough people's buttholes and everything. Anything else, I'm done. Freaking delete. I was like,
I was.
well, that's why I always say whenever I get an unsolicited pic, I just send one back.
there you go.
They love that. They love that.
I
They
was in
really
South
love that.
Korea the last time I was in South Korea, right? I was stationed with a gay guy, and we were in. It wasn't Youngsong. It was damn it, can't remember the name of it. It was over there by Osan. And we were just out drinking one day, and he was like, "You don't understand how in the closet some of these people are." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? This makes no sense. What are you talking about?" So he's like, "Watch this." So he goes and downloads Grindr. He downloads it while we're sitting at the table enjoying us.
Yes, so we can show you the proximity.
Yes, soju and fried chicken. I will never forget this because it was like 5 of us, and he was like, and I was like, "Okay, so you do this," and then he puts his phone down, puts it down, like he puts his phone down. That thing didn't even. You know what his picture was?
My phone fell off the table.
Was
I think it was trying to commit suicide.
look his profile picture, and I'm not making this up because I watched him do it, was a bottle of Korean beer.
Yeah.
Ollie Butt. He made up
Just-
a name and everything, and
It wasn't even a picture. It was just
No, so like they're just desperate, especially if you're in a place that's a small town. They've been
pulled the old woman's eyes open in Bird Box, when he's like, "Can you see?" That's what it was like. He held his phone up, like, and he was like, "I got to delete this," and I'm like, "Please delete this, because I can't even enjoy my food now." So we understand the straights want a straight pride parade, even though some of them ain't straight. Let's just be honest. So
I think they just
majority
want
of them-
community. I think they don't have community. I think they're craving community. And
what is it with white people wanting their own month? Every month, if you
Yeah.
Heritage Month,
you have
where's
anything
the White
else?
People Month?
Because they feel left out. Exactly what KJ is saying. They feel left out. They don't have that.
White people, where are they left out of? How much more?
The white people don't have culture. I mean, well, there are some
None.
there are some nationalities, white people that have national cultures, depending on where they're from. But if we're talking about white American culture is stealing other people's shit. So
I'm blaming this one. I am blaming all of this on Gambit because he was the one that tagged me in that video with the white boy that was dancing.
Okay. I'll take responsibility.
That was your fault. That was your fault.
I was like, wait a minute, what's a drive-by, man? What did I do?
For 30 minutes, I have a headache. So, do you want to know how I got woke up to come to do this show? By GCPR Live tagged you in a video. I'm going, all right. I'm thinking it's an advertisement because tomorrow's the big day. I open it up, it's some white guy doing the drop kick, the stuff that you see the Russians do.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice is in the background yelling, "Go Ninja, go Ninja, go!" I said, "Why are we pointing?" I said, "Damn Gambit with his extremely light-skinned behind. I can't stand him. Like I wasn't ready for this. I was not ready for that. I wasn't. Like I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally able to. Again, I have a headache.
No, did you read the caption?
Dude, I read the thing. I couldn't.
The caption was, "These are the people trying to take the black job."
What is a black job?
Exactly.
No one has answered that question.
But a white guy dancing. That's
now. We do have to talk.
using Vanilla Ice Go Ninja Go.
We do have to talk about it.
Like there were layers here.
There was a lot of layers on that one.
That was
I like it.
That was an 80-layer cake with only 3 layers of ice. Ass cake. So we do have to talk about this because the debates happened this past.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
I call it age in the cage. I call it a rumble in the depends. I call it grumpy old men, the sequel, whatever you want to call it. But Donald
Well, they
Trump,
already had grumpier old men, so this is what, grumpiest old men?
number one, I need Joe
Probably.
Biden on his
Yes.
facial expression. I need Joe Biden to work on his face.
The nap here and there. Is
Hey,
it me?
we do know that Donald Trump did take a dump.
No, yeah, I heard about that too.
He did. I thought it was BS too until somebody rewinded. He's like, nope. Did you catch that? I'm like, was I supposed to?
I'm kind of glad I missed it.
I prefer not to catch it, but okay. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
whatever.
you did not miss much.
I didn't watch the debate. Now I scrolled through some lives. I saw you were live, Thomas. I saw some other people were live. I just caught clips of it because I already knew. Like,
Sorry, Hefe.
you knew.
I don't need that.
I was
Yeah.
chilling with teenagers.
I don't need that
live.
secondhand. I don't need that secondhand embarrassment. I really don't.
Yeah, you knew it was a train wreck that was
It was
already
a-
off the rails before.
Stood behind it and just touched itself in special places. That's all.
All
That,
transporting
That's
burning
a fair,
dumpsters.
fair, analysis of that.
It was
That was-
traumatizing.
I watched part of it, but I
It was
just like,
traumatizing.
yeah, I got to a point where I'm like, I don't need to see the rest of this, and it was like after about a half hour, 45 minutes, I was like, I can't.
Yeah, I was going to
I
say.
can't stop watching now. I'm
you
already got
watch-
this
I'm
far
done.
in it.
If you watched 10 minutes of the debate, you got the gist of it.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's
I mean,
about
it
right.
wasn't.
I'm going back to it again.
And it was exactly what I said was going to happen. Biden's going to mumble through things, and Trump is not going to be able to stay on top.
Listen,
And the Democrats are going to be
Well, and
defending, are going
so
to
many
defend
people
Biden,
said it.
and
Bird
the
box going.
Republicans are going to claim victory.
And so
And
many people
let's
said
face
it too.
all of us
that-
lost.
So many people
Yeah.
said it that we needed the moderator from Lauren Boebert's debate.
Bro,
The one
I
that was
love
like,
that
oh,
moderator.
you're not going to answer
that
the
was
question.
amazing.
We'll move
What
on.
did that guy was
Oh yeah.
spot
CNN.
on.
CNN humped the bump on this one.
I thought you was gonna say we needed the date that Lauren Boebert took to Beetlejuice.
I'm not talking about my personal life right
No.
now, okay?
Maybe him too,
Please.
He's probably on Grinder too.
Nobody wanted
Probably.
more than likely.
Nobody needs him
But-
to do anything. I thought that when you said Lauren Boebert, I'm like, there's only two things that woman is known for: getting dog walk at a debate.
fetish site, okay? And it said in my bio, regardless of my interests, I was like, look, no.
Facebook, this is
Right.
for educational purposes only. I don't know where I'm supposed
My point was I said no hard right Republicans, no alt right, none of that stuff. And I actually had more than one, more than three, more than 5 people, men, cis, straight men, come into my comments and say, oh, I can't believe you're going to discriminate against me because I vote for Trump. I'm like,
Yes.
you're going to go vote
Yes.
against my life
Yes.
while trying.
They wanted,
That's
they wanted to take
Darbo.
away. Listen, they wanted to take away your rights
Darbo.
by
It's
giving you some
all
rights.
they have.
Listen, they wanted to take your rights away inch by inch by giving you the same inches.
Yeah, but when it's only 3 inches, that's not much to go on. Hate everything about when they drop them and I look and go,
Whenever it's 3 inches, and you have to have a little.
Wah,
blue
wah,
filter.
when they drop them and they ask me what I think, and my response immediately is, well, I'm bigger.
Yeah, I probably don't like that.
No.
Destroying men's dreams with the Stormbreaker on them.
Just,
Have you ever
just
like
straight
this?
up, just straight up.
You
Just,
don't even have to say it.
I can go.
Aw.
it's
like,
you don't
oh,
even
man.
have to say it. Just, oh,
Hello. That's so cute.
So
Hey.
a series of videos where you were kind of addressing men and how they should approach women.
Yeah, well, I was kind of calling one in particular out, but it was really, the message really was meant to be universal.
Of course, yeah.
Making an argument that, I mean, it was all over the place. Basically, you know when you find somebody who's like doing a really good job of pretending to see you? That was what was happening, and
Hey,
part
bro,
of his argument.
You know
Part
what
of his argument was that the situation to keep women safe is so ambiguous and dangerous for men that it's dangerous for women because men are evil, but it's dangerous for men to engage with women because of other men, but also because they want to keep women's blah, 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 right? And my point was like, you know, it is actually possible to learn how to not be a creep. Like, you can respect women's privacy and also learn when it is appropriate and where it is appropriate and how it is appropriate to talk to women. That is a perfectly capable thing that people can learn how to do. And his argument was that men cannot deal with ambiguity, and he kept using the word ambiguity like it was a accusation towards women.
What?
And then, yeah, and men cannot handle and deal with ambiguity. So women need to make it unambiguous. Women need to approach men and make unambiguous offers. I'm like, are you like?
Men
No,
are
it was.
That's not how it works.
No.
So
Yeah,
his,
exactly.
his whole
I don't-
his whole argument was basically like women were supposed to go to men and say, "Hey, I want to have sex with you now."
That's what they want. That's what they want.
I mean, that wasn't so many. What he was trying, like, what it was like, he was trying to reframe the whole alone. Women need to start approaching us because men can't handle ambiguity and blah 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 blah.
That was never
Sounds
even the
like he heard
argument
the
of.
word
That was never
ambiguity
even
and
the bear
think-
argument.
Yeah.
We
And
No.
chose
you're
the
just
bear.
gonna parrot it back and know what it means.
Yeah, no,
That was
He
never
heard-
the
I
argument,
think
though.
he
We
heard
chose the bear
ambiguity
because
and, decided
we-
to run
we-
with it.
we chose
then he
the
started
bear
telling me-
because we know that bears are dangerous. We
Yeah.
don't know which men are or aren't.
Well, so that's why the men who, if we change his argument, if we change the social norm so that women are unambiguously approaching men, the men who don't leave them alone ever, even though the norm is to leave them alone, that's how you know who the dangerous ones are.
Okay, so wait.
As if women aren't killed by their partners every
Hold on,
moment of the day.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's put that out there. Let's put that to its final whole obvious conclusion. So these guys want to be approached by women, that way they know whether or not the woman's interest.
Yep.
There's some guys that when pressure is put on them, they cannot handle it.
If
a
they
woman
can't
walks-
handle ambiguity, how are they going to handle that?
they can't.
Right?
If a woman
Yeah.
walks up and goes, "Hey, baby, you fine as hell. I want you in me." Huh? What?
Yeah, but see, it's about the location. I don't know if it was one of
I
KJ's
need dinner
videos
first.
or someone else's I saw. Like if you are at a bar and you see a bunch of girls together and one of them interests you, you walk up and you say, "I'm sorry to introduce or intrude. This is my number. I would like to get to know you better." Give it to her and walk away and don't
Yeah,
intrude on the rest of
easy.
her night. It's easy
Easy.
peasy.
I mean,
But
I've
but
done
if
that.
I'm at the grocery store and I'm looking at heads of lettuce, don't lean over me and go, "How you doing?" I'm shopping. Get the F out of my face.
It's a mess. I went to when I first transitioned, when I first started just being seen as male everywhere. Right. My cousin and I went to a singles mixer, in a city, and we got there and we walked upstairs, and on one side of the room there was a bunch of attractive, like classy, professional-looking women enjoying glasses of wine and cocktails, and on the other side of the room. And this was at a singles mixer where people had gone specifically to meet other singles. On the other side of the room was a wall of men wearing fedoras, dirty jeans, shoes untied, shirts untucked, right? Cramming their faces with free chicken wings, right? From a buffet. And there's a dance floor in the middle.
That is the worst described. Listen.
I
am straight. Listen, I am straighter than Green Arrow's arrows, and I'm telling you right now, I would leave. I'm like, hey man, I can't be here.
I don't even know why the women were hanging in there. Like they were talking to each other.
I would have been.
But I
getting
immediately-
chicken
I would
wings.
walk in looking,
So-
I see, oh.
I gotta go, dog.
No, I was like, this is a good opportunity. So I immediately crossed the room and went up to this group of women, and I said, "What is this? A middle school dance?" Like, and then they all
Boys
must
on
have
one
laughed.
side, girls on the other.
Listen,
I said, "What the fuck is that?" Excuse me. I said, "What's that?" And they said,
we almost made it.
"We have no."
Oh, I
idea."
already messed
It
up.
was that close.
Through that
That
close.
was mine. That was on me. I apologize.
But
that
that's
was
the-
what they said. I was quoting. I didn't think.
But
So
that
they,
happens.
I
It happens.
was, is this a middle school dance? And they started laughing. And the next thing I know, like me and my cousin are meeting this whole group of women. We're having a nice time. We're chatting. And then wouldn't you know it, all the other ones start to try to drizzle in and stand next to us. And it's like,
Now they baby yellow drizzy.
if you can't even go to a singles mixer and talk to a woman
Because
or a
men-
group of women in a friendly manner, but you think that you deserve, without developing social skills of any kind, for women to just do all the work for you all the time, no matter whether it's safe for them or not. Like, just give me a break. Like,
the art
no.
of seduction is lost on the modern man.
Yeah.
Listen, from let's see, when I finally left my mom's house, I was 18. From 18 until I got married the first time, you had to develop some skills. You had to be
Yeah.
talk. Okay, I tell you what the seduction technique guys were. Okay, there was Muscle Guy. He was walking around here in a medium t-shirt with the biggest arms you ever seen in your life, and he talked all night with his arms, just he off the ground because he swole meat for no reason whatsoever. Right? There's Car Key Guy. Car Key Guy has a Benz. It's a nice Benz. It's an old Benz, but it's still a Benz nonetheless. So the whole two women went home with that man for driving a '76 sedan DeVille. I'll never forget that. I thought it was the greatest thing I ever saw in my life. He was talking with Cadillac keys. There was emotionally sensitivity guy, the Ralph Tresvant. He would come in and, his voice is really, I like to have green tea. And then she's like, oh, who, not to be confused with poetry guy, who would walk in with some flowy linen with no draw. You know what I mean? Like with the shirt open and his hair was always shaped to the linen shirt.
Okay.
The poetry, you know what I mean? Like he'd be the dude walking around here with a guitar. I was comedy guy. I had to make you laugh. So I'm gonna flirt with you, but you're gonna laugh the whole time. You're like, girl, I can't wait to go home. He is hilarious, right? There was Good Dancer Dude. But it was Money Guy, but Money Guy's not, he's a cheat code. If you can buy all the girls drinks, of course they're gonna stay with you. But the emotionally sensitive guy and Mr. Lennon walking around making Lenny Kravitz looking,
Yeah, yeah, peacock, what they used to call peacocking.
I hated
Yeah.
guys because they were unfair. They were unfair because blue jeans matched your shirt for whatever reason. And this dude, he got 2 earrings in both ears, and like he's using Prince lyrics, talking to girls
As lines.
as lines. You can't. How you compete now? Me being comedy guy, I just make them laugh the whole night. I could never dance, and I even told them I can't dance. I do a whole bunch of rubbing up on you because I got 2 left feet and 10 big toes. So they was like, he's so funny. But then I got to compete with Sensitivity Man walking. I call him Ralph Tresvant because Ralph Tresvant came up with a song called Sensitivity. For those of you who grew up in the 90s, you know which one the song I'm talking about. Ralph had a bunch of sensitive guys out there, the I'll Be Sure Drake looking mugs. But you need a man with I hated him.
Yeah. That.
He was fake. That's the thing. And
Right.
one of my friends in high school wrote a short story called "How to Get Girls to Sleep with You by Pretending to Be Gay."
Who does that?
And it was
I had a friend that did that.
It was actually
I
a
had a friend that
creative
did that, yeah.
story that he wrote, like as a comedy thing where he was like crossing out ideas. Like, so it was a exercise in fiction, but he had noticed that a lot of guys do that, whether it be pretending to be sensitive or whether it be like acting a little bit gay to get women to trust them. It happens.
I'll crack you in the head with this hammer. If I catch you going, hey man, watch this. I'm a straight dude. I'm trying to get laid tonight, but I'm gonna act like
I had another friend
that
he became a vegan because just so he
could be with girls that were interested in that.
Yeah.
And I think women see through a lot of that stuff now. And I think that is, and I think people are looking for something more genuine than that. But I also think that we're in a time right now where, more than any time in history, people can go online
and that's where the art of seduction came from. All of those ways were ways to get a woman to open up to you so that you know exactly what it is that she wants, so that you can cater to it. If you're just trying to get and I need some tequila, and then I need Derek. That's about it. Okay, that was whatever.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's playing, doing the thing.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen though. I knew it was going to happen during MySpace. When MySpace was a thing, I said the game is about to change.
Oh yeah, because they could just send on.
Just sit and wait.
Yeah, you could wear a medium shirt, make your arms look really, really big, and take a picture from your chest up. She ain't got to see the beer gut. Yeah, you got a medium shirt on, your arms look big, you done put all this baby oil on there. But from the nipples down, it's a keg. Like, right then and I said the game done changed. The game, because
and yet still you have men posing in all of their profile pictures on dating apps with fish that they've caught, and women have said over and over and over that is not attractive.
What?
And they don't want to see it.
2 things you don't put in a profile: fish or a truck.
Or a motorcycle.
Or a motorcycle, yeah.
Depends. That depends, because I've said with truck, you're outdoorsy, you're rugged. I like that kind of thing, but I'm an outdoorsy person. I climb mountains, for Christ's sake.
You are up to a bear, so this is not a shock. It's like I'm an outdoorsy person. Nah, really, Gretchen?
And that's great. But so many of them are activity.
All right, I'm gonna ask this. Okay, so we have a couple of people in the live stream on Facebook. We have a couple of people in the live stream on TikTok. I'm gonna ask this question, ladies. Just ladies. I don't want any dudes to answer this. Who is going out with Trout Man?
I have a variety of friends, but I have a wide range of friends. But I have one that actually has that he did that for a while. That had
Trout Man.
No,
woman. What woman? I'm so serious right now.
But see, that was his thing, though. He
caught a bite.
He wanted to find somebody that was outdoorsy like that wanted to.
You caught a
with
minnow. You caught a can of sardines. Congratulations.
You caught something that is bait for a bigger fish.
You caught something that if you hold on to it and stand close enough to the shore.
That's the reason why he put that as his profile.
Well, and that's a
because
purposeful
that's-
reason.
That's why.
Thank you, Miss
that's the
Debbie.
type of
She
person-
said no, not feeling the fish pick.
Oh, but see,
And
he
what?
wanted to find somebody that.
Donna
liked
said I
fishing.
wouldn't.
And
Yeah,
so-
that's his way of filtering.
yeah.
You know, and that's a totally
And
valid
that's
thing.
fine with him
It's-
because
Filter's one thing,
he
but
Yeah.
legit he
Chrissy
loves
said
fishing
not
and he wanted
me.
to find somebody that loves fishing
Not an
too.
outdoorsy kind of type.
That's the thing, though.
So,
they
yeah,
have
it's a resounding no on the fish pick.
the men
Yeah, oh yeah, it's an absolute no on the fish pick. Yeah.
fish guy. How are you getting laid? Buckman, the guy that shoots a buck and then holds the head like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Like he's
Bucky guy.
down the
And then
middle.
he puts it on his truck and takes a picture of the deer with the head on the truck.
What woman is going, girl? My panties just fell off. I'm so ready for him. Who's sleeping with
What?
Buck?
That
Who-
depends. Is he going to dress it?
Who's
for
sleeping
me?
with Buckman? Who's sleeping with Buckman? Who? So we got Fishman, we got Buckman. Here's my personal favorite, Truckman.
Oh, yeah.
If Forgio Blow has children in this life, I don't know how. I want to meet the woman that saw Forgio Blow take his lifted for no reason whatsoever and in defiance of God Trump all around. And they said, girl, I'm going to give
That's the one.
Forgio Blow a baby because of that truck. $250 to make his F Bud Light video in the parking lot of the place he bought the beer from because Dylan Mulvaney got some cans. Who is giving? Look at Forgio Blow and answer.
Yeah, yeah. He got that. He got that
Listen,
on lock.
If Sportfoot is out here,
He
give
got
it up.
He got
give it up
pterodactyl
to
toes
G-
on his on speed.
Oh,
dial.
no, you know who it is? You know who it is? And this is pulling back from an older meme. Do you remember when that Jason Aldean song came out?
That's
And
why
that,
that in a small
In
town.
a small
and,
town?
yeah, and that one white girl did that dance in the middle of the road that was just awkward as hell.
Oh,
Yeah, off key and
Oh.
off beat.
And off,
Yeah.
and that's her. That's the one.
hold on.
Yeah.
I have to revisit that thing. Because it got
But you
black.
know what I'm talking about.
That-
She looked like
that
Jessica
thing-
Simpson.
Is that
You
what
have to
you
revisit that
She
thing.
was out here. She was out here filming by herself. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Mr. Nancy from American Guys. Let me paint a picture. She was filming by herself. That means her phone was on a tripod. The tripod is right here. Right here. She sees that the phone is right there. Why she come in at an angle? Where are you going?
She come in whipping her hair
The
too.
phone is right here.
Oh, yeah.
Why,
It was a whole thing.
why are you walking away from
That's
Oh,
the
well.
thing, man. That was the thing.
Static hair.
Hold on. And then she had on us her whole ass. And I was gonna do nothing but laugh. Because if she had fallen on them flip flops while walking halfway away from a camera she has propped up. While
Well,
trying
being angry, you know.
to don't have
Can you imagine rolling an ankle on that?
that's how I my
We would
that's
never-
how my TikTok
I mean,
career-
we never let her live it down.
You never hit
I don't
it.
think
She
she's
never
on
hit the end of
social
that.
media anymore. But we
That's
never
how
let it.
that's how my TikTok career would have ended. Because the other videos I would have made the Zapruder film of jokes just off of that one video. I'd have been right. Listen, I'd have broke that damn thing down. Like I'd have broke it down like a good like an old Pinto.
Yes, Chrissy, and the cutoff jeans too.
and the cutoff.
Listen, where are you going?
Oh, you should popping in like a it's yeah. Well, it's like that guy that sits by himself at restaurants with a tripod and eats like two of something and
Right,
just
stuff
and
down.
Oh,
just
date right
spits out
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Hey.
dear God.
I have never,
gotcha talking points that don't make any sense just to get
Bad-
attention.
I have
Bad
never seen
jokes.
white man angst and depression in human form more. Like
But I just want you imagine going out to dinner, right? Like you and your family go out to dinner and you
bought
get
40
into the
chicken
restaurant
nuggets.
and you look over and that dude is sitting in a and how many takes do you think each one of those things? So he's sitting there for like 20 minutes. Maybe he need to get up and get more ice cream because that one melted and it doesn't look fresh anymore. Like and you watch this in the restaurant happening while you're trying to eat.
this man went to a McDonald's and was talking about my kid can't dress up like a Native American, but a man could dress up like a woman while eating 40 chicken nuggets. by himself. Bruh.
Oh, really? I thought that was the one where he ate
No.
the really, really, really burnt corn dog.
No, oh no. If
Oh,
that one was
Like, what happened to that?
that one was surprisingly disturbing. When he shoved that damn corn dog in his throat, I said, "Yo, son, that ain't the first
Oh, I
time."
didn't see that one.
Oh, dear God.
every day we fall farther from Rao's grace.
That escalated
Yes.
quickly.
Yo,
Every day we fall farther from Rao's grace.
fall further from Rao's grace every day. Every day, Rao gives us every.
He said something about Chicago, and I was like, dude, I know the exact location that you're at. You're in Illuminati's in Naperville. You're an hour outside of Chicago. don't play with me.
I'm trying to figure out
Hey,
who.
look, I know food, motherfucker.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
I know
sorry.
Chicago,
I let that
motherfucker.
drop.
And then he'll say thank you to her. I know she's thinking this idiot is filming himself eating 2 meals alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She's looking at this whole thing.
I know she's looking at. I know she went back to her friends was like, I better get a big tip. That idiot is over there talking to his damn self while eating 2 meals. He on a date with no one.
So,
Him in a tripod.
No.
Just him in a tripod.
We all know.
Oh, you know
we all
what?
it
I
went
bet
like
there.
this.
I wonder if there's a subreddit somewhere of like servers that have
course.
served him and just hate his guts.
Of course it probably
I
is.
hate the date right
I
stuff.
wonder what they've done to his food. I wonder what they've done to his.
Like he should never eat anything with white sauce. Like if some chicken Alfredo, if you order some chicken Alfredo, don't eat it. Don't eat it. I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna be the date right stuff with herpes in your mouth. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
I
Don't
won't
date
make
it
a
either.
video. I won't make a video response to that guy because I don't want to elevate his platform anymore.
Well,
but
exactly.
sometimes it's just like, why is it that, these people, blah, 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 are shoving everything down our throats while I'm shoving this phallic object down my throat? I mean, that's what he does in every video. Like,
Y'all not
he's the dip my ice cream in the sprinkle person. Like,
I don't remember the corn dog.
I didn't see that one.
Listen,
I didn't see the
dog,
corn dog.
The way
I'm
he
kind
did
of
that
happy
corn
I
dog.
didn't, actually.
The way he did that corn dog, I said that is not the first time he's done that.
Isn't he the creator of Christian Mingle or something like that, or conservative?
No,
that,
date right stuff.
Date
That's
right
the name
stuff
of the
is
app.
what it's called.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
jeez.
a conservative. And he was a Trump pointy
Advisor.
Oh, he was-
advisor.
Oh
He
yeah,
only
no, I
got-
know that.
The and now he's one of the architects of Project 2020.
Yes,
Project
I wouldn't have given him.
2020.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't
Of
have
course
given
he
him a
is.
security clearance because he ate 40 chicken nuggets in front of
He
me.
is directly employed by the Heritage Foundation.
Of course.
See,
Why?
those-
Why is it that these people are always making anti-trans videos and then they're in my DMs at the end of the day?
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
That
keep,
would protest too much.
keep asking him why his Date the Right Stuff app is such a sausage fest. Because there are no Republican women on.
Going back,
On there.
I've been trying to get on, but
going back to what we were talking about. That's the
because I
problem.
refuse to put my actual picture on there.
These
it
men
Keeps flagging me as a bot.
They want it so very easy. They want the woman to do all the work possible. So if you are a right-wing conservative nut job, you like telling gay people where they can go to the bathroom, and you like telling women, like you haven't seen a uterus since you came out of one, but you like telling women to do what to do with their own uteruses. And you hear something like, "Hey, date right stuff," where all the conservative chicks
Ended in their
And
their
here's the thing, though.
bio.
Here's the
Free
thing, though.
thinker.
Here's the thing, though. For me, it goes one step further. Not only do they
See,
they'll come over at any hour of the night, but they won't take me home to meet their mom.
tell you so, Gretchen. If I woke up as you tomorrow, I'd be the big. Hold on, y'all know the tattoo guy, the guy that gets tattoos based on. Listen, I'm a conservative rock red Republican. I have nothing to do with the trans and the gays and any of that. Listen, I'm the wrong person.
I was on a very popular fetish site. I won't say the name, but it's a very pop ideology. Like, you're voting against me while trying to get me into bed.
Yeah.
I actually stopped messing with a woman because of that. And let me tell you something. It was some of the best. Yeah, I mean, But the moment she told me, "Oh yeah, I'm a black conservative," I was like, "Oh."
Ooh.
So, Oh,
Oh,
well, look at
that's
the
a big
time.
thing for me. Like, I can't be interested in somebody if I'm not interested in their mind and their like values and their intelligence. I got back, was really attractive, and I was kind of trying to chat her up. And she said, "Well, where did you go to school?" And I said, "I went to school in London." And she asked me if I had any trouble over there or if most people spoke English.
You do.
Suddenly, I'm not interested anymore.
I got to go relieve myself real quick. I mean pee. But we're gonna reset the show when I come back, so I'll be right back. One moment.
Oh, I thought she was doing a bit.
Listen, KJ,
No, it's not
Like,
a bit.
if-
I gotta
if you
go to the
heard that-
bathroom. I gotta go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
you
And
plan-
then we'll
They climb
reset
out
when
the
I come back.
window.
We'll reset when I come back. Be right back.
if you plan on,
She did. She was dead serious too. And I looked at her and I went, "Well, I mean, it was England, so it's amazing when the more people you meet, the more you realize how many people are just totally in a world of their own, without any sort of frame of reference for a lot of common knowledge, and that's why I'm picky about who I date, like, I can't.
This may not. I mean, because I've said
I speak English over
silly
here.
before. Come on, just give
I
her a
would-
little bit of leeway. She might be
No.
a great
No.
person, but
you
give
say
her a
something
little
like
bit
that,
of
back
grace.
in the day, Shawn Michaels would come in and kick you in the mouth. No, no, absolutely no. If I tell you I went to school in the United Kingdom in England, and you say, "Oh, did you have a problem with the language barrier over there? Did they speak English?" Right at that point, it's
Hey,
sweet
you
shit,
you
music,
100% every day, Thomas.
problematic. No,
I'm trying to be nice.
mm-mm.
Here I am thinking that you would give him the Andrade back elbow.
Oh yes, yeah. Listen, did they speak English in England? I just kicked Stan. Oh no. I'm gonna do something on this. J.B. Harris. Miss J.B. Harris is a writer, a blogger, and social critic, and she's also unapologetically black and beautiful. She is my sister. She has now taken her talent to pen this quarterly magazine, Black Like That. The magazine will be published quarterly, weighing in on culture, society, and everything these streets are saying. And did I mention the magazine is free to download from her blog, I Breathe Fire? Remember, J.B. Harris is really black like that. The Villains Guild, and she is now doing a blog. Make sure you go out and check it out. Now it's time for me to reset the show. This is The Villain's View on Hot101.net and streaming exclusively on Ghost Claw Entertainment. My name is Thomas Bishop. I am known as The Villain. I am joined by my regular co-hosts, Gambit, Gilbert, Gretchen, and I ain't got no G name, and our special guest for this evening, one Mr. KJ, who is out here telling people that he wouldn't date you if you don't know that they speak English in England.
And it's sad that was based off of a true story.
If I go any further, hold on. Come. My grandson would like to say hi. Ah. This is my grandson Akiri.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hear us, Tom?
Hi.
Hi.
You're wearing headphones.
Oh, I'm sorry. He can't even hear me.
Bye.
Can you hear us now? Hey there.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Ah.
Yes. I'm being grandfather for the summer because I'm good like that. Listen.
He literally just went, "Get out of here, kid! You're bothering me."
Kid, you're bothering me. Nah.
One kid, get out of here, you bother me.
Crew of boys I've ever seen in my life. One's a hippie. One of them is just like a nerd. And that youngest one, I don't know. I think he's gonna be a rapper like Tech Nine or something. So
There are some serious fireworks going on outside my apartment right now. I don't know if it's the ultra right celebrating the end of Pride because we know how bad that triggers them, or they're just getting ready for the 4th of July, or maybe it's my own community like, yeah, baby, it's the end of Pride. You know,
Hey.
I don't know, but like it's madness outside right now here.
You
My
ever hear
place.
that
Wow.
Patton Oswalt joke about gay people doing a pride? He's like, don't do a pride parade in New York or Los Angeles. Do it someplace like Coeur d'Alene, Iowa. And have some heavy set guy going, take me with you, gay pride parade. He's like, I'm gonna miss you, black guy, overly muscular black
we-
guy in
Let's,
a
we
let,
lost
let's do
TikTok.
let's do that parade in
What?
Exodus 23:20,
Yeah, we lost
Oklahoma.
Due to
Dude,
oh,
what?
the heck?
TikTok for? What they said we lost it for?
What's that?
Inactivity?
Inactivity. What?
We lost
How's-
it where?
Because of
We lost-
inactivity?
Where?
Our TikTok went down.
No,
Aw.
whatever. TikTok.
Oh,
Hey,
we're getting back on it again.
TikTok's no
because-
longer here. Anyway,
I don't know. What the,
inactivity. I don't know what that. Why
I
y'all
don't know what that means, but we're
Yeah,
back
no,
on
yeah.
TikTok.
So it's back up now.
So here's the thing about the conversation that man versus bear. So many men got offended when women did this, but you know who they didn't get offended? They had no smoke.
In it. And to be
Can we
honest,
Can we be honest though, KJ? I don't think men give trans men a second thought, and I
About that. I have a theory about that. And the reason they go after trans women most is because in their male fight is someone they perceive as weaker.
absolutely.
But
That's
they
what-
look at
that-
trans
Yeah.
men, they look at trans men and they don't see a man, they see a failed woman. And they
Yeah.
feel sorry for trans men, but they look at trans women as predators because they're like, oh, you couldn't make it as a man, so now you're going to be a woman, which is
There's-
mind-blowing
Well,
to me.
It
There's
makes
a
them very uncomfortable.
boxer that
You know,
knocking people.
Yeah.
There is a trans man boxer that is like knocking them out. Now, when you want to, when people want to put the trans panic into people, it's like, look at the trans woman that was swimming with the other women. It's really a man. Is out here literally putting paws on people. Like
because
I
people think of
I had no idea.
trans men as girls.
I-
You know,
that's
and
I
they
had no idea. Got Manny Pacquiao hand speed. Like
Another good example is, they're always worried about trans women in sports, think match their identity. Mac Beggs, who was a wrestler and on testosterone, a trans man, was dominating the women's division because they wouldn't let him compete with men.
yes, exactly. They would not let him compete with, men, and so he was competing with, in the women's league in high school, and because they made him, and then they wanted to punish him for that.
And he
And
was
it's like-
death enhancing drug.
these are the same guys that grew up with China and act like they didn't see a woman that could wrestle men. Chris Cyborg, and that's a woman. That is a pure
Yeah.
100% uncut USDA. Well, not USDA.
Those are the examples that I use.
Chris
Like there
Cyborg,
was
that's her name.
there was an interview several years back, or a few years back, with Ben Shapiro and a trans woman, and she said he made her mad, and she was like, well, we can meet in the parking lot afterwards. And his response was, oh, that's not very feminine. But women are allowed. You're not going to go to her and be like, you're not very feminine. She's going to knock you out.
Are you talking about the same Ben Shapiro that believes?
About Ben
That-
Shapiro,
that's
period.
never really
I need-
weasel.
What other Ben Shapiro is there?
I need people to understand something. You do not know that your
That
wife.
did a duet with Tom McDonald.
Oh, this guy.
Right?
You're welcome.
Like, bro, I'm a trans woman, and I'm still more
This
manly
guy.
than you are. I'm still more manly than you are. I say it all the time. As a trans,
When they actually remember that we exist, because when they
Right.
kind of write us off.
They do. They do.
One of the things,
Mhm.
like the guy that I was,
Y'all are like J. Cole and the Drake and Kendrick beef. like-
is kind of like, they're not there.
But you're
and
there,
then
but you're not
when
there.
we are, man that doesn't creep out women or threaten women, you were not victims of women being overcomplicated. I mean, I had to learn socially how to man at age 32, after only 5 months. So it was like I was socialized as a woman until I was 32 years old.
Mhm.
As de-socialize myself as a guy and sit down and think about what kind of man I wanted to be, and
Right.
and learn how to handle the surges of anger that sometimes come with the new hormones, the ways that the ways that I process my feelings and all that kind of stuff, you know, and then I had to learn to get through those learning curves, you know, and part of the learning curve too is that where women used to feel safer with me near them in public because I was to them another woman, you know, and so it's like if a woman was into, keep my distance to make women feel safer and to make sure that, you know, if I'm at the gym, like I was there earlier today, like I'll change my routine just a little bit just to make sure that I'm not crowding a woman at the gym. You know, it's like just give them space and don't stare at them when, you know, when they're working out. And this stuff is not rocket science. And that was the point that I was trying to make to the guy that we were talking about earlier in the show that was at me, you know, and his response to me when he ran out of jumping through hoops and like,
I'm a 6 foot tall, 55 pound, bald black man. I am intimidating just walking in the door. Okay. When I was 5'11" and 165 pounds at 17, 18 years old, I towered over my mother. So I knew there is an intrinsic thing that I have to remember when I go into spaces. Certain people are going to be scared of me simply by watching me walk in the door. Now, I know I would scare the crap out of a woman. I've seen it happen. I have been as polite as possible. I didn't go, "Hey, why you tripping?" No, it was simply
no. You're like, oh,
like I know, perfect example. I walk out the door, out of a order. "Hi, come on here, Ashley. We're gonna walk in the door," and then my bust out. Like I look like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre's national.
She's comfortable, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do, dudes. This is why I will not give any guys any quarter on that, because I learned that at a young age. You can't tell me at your big ass age you can't remember that. "Oh well, I don't know why they're intimidated by me," says the guy that looks like he jumped fresh out of Sons of Anarchy. You're 6'8", you ain't got no hair, you're balded in a cue ball, you got tattoos from the tip of your fingers to the crack of your ass, and you all of a sudden don't understand why women are intimidated by you. If you don't,
it's all excuses. It's all excuses.
Oh, self-awareness.
If after 32 years of behaving as with female social norms in public, you know, being in the girls' club, nobody can. But, you know, and it's excuses.
And this is why I've been getting a lot of pushback. Not an excuse a man can give me that I have not already heard. I've heard every one of. Hell, I've used half of them. I've used it. "How come women don't just come up and hit on me?" Oh, that's right. I guess I have to do something to make myself interesting. Like you, "Oh my God, you're so hot. Come here." No, I didn't approach her on some "Sup, what's happening? Let me holler at you." No, it's more along the lines of, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, hold a conversation. My name is Thomas. Like, men have lost all of the abilities of just simply being in the damn world and realizing what your power is. And I'm sorry, I don't give men excuses. I don't. Because I know what it would look like if some 5'1", you know, 165-pound woman was to see me walking up on her. There's gonna be a little bit of an intimidation factor. So
you have empathy. You have empathy, and that's something so many people are lacking.
It's self. You know? It's like you said. It's also self-awareness. A lot of men refuse to be self-aware of their position. And like, you don't get a chance to work out. You don't stay in the gym 24. We were just talking about this today, and I'm gonna reiterate it for the radio. There is nothing sexy about serial killers. There's swastikas on his face and tattoos on his face, who's murked two people, but he's still a guy with swastikas on his face, with tattoos on his face, who murked two people. But everybody's calling him, you know, Murder Bay or whatever. The Wade Wolf
Deadpool coming out.
I'm really,
but we're gonna deal with it.
Yeah, I'm upset about it, and I'm not only upset about it from the standpoint of why, in the name of everything that you believe in that is holy, would you want to? If I might look like a serial killer, but if you put me in a nice suit, really look nice. But if I'm in court, the only reason I'm wearing this nice suit is because I've already killed 2 women. At that point, I don't care. He could look like Brad Pitt and Jason Momoa's love child. He's off the market. He's off the. But again, and this is something I said about this earlier.
I like bad boys.
Not that bad.
I
Yeah.
can change him.
One of the
He
finest
wouldn't do that to me.
I'm talking some old Halle Berry, Charlize Theron looking just sexy, attractive. I go,
Yeah.
Oh, he just misunderstood.
listen, then you start hearing stuff like, and she boiled her baby in oil and then used the skull to gas. Yeah, it's fat from all the meat that she ate from her family after she killed him. I'm not attracted. Sorry.
No,
I'm
evening. I wasn't trying to be like the main course, at least not literally.
Not just like, just take me out. I don't.
My ticket now. Come on.
But
I mean, punch my ticket, but don't
don't
punch
punch
my,
my ticket.
But don't punch my ticket, right?
we have literally made a society where there is a lot of laziness and a lot of, I guess, lack. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like Serial Bay is a perfect example of this. Okay, so you like a strong, powerful man. You find a man in a suit that's attractive. Okay, there's a lot of men that wear suits. I know some very attractive men that wear suits. But if it's connected to a guy in a suit with, I don't know, 2 bodies on him, I think
Plus
on his face.
on his face.
I mean, look. Patrick Bateman looks great in a suit. But that's where I draw the line.
Listen,
Yeah.
Christian Bale worked out really, really hard to get those abs that he showed off when his butt cheeks.
That's not the point.
At
It's the
drop
fictional character. He's attractive. He looks good in a suit. But I ain't trying to get with him because he's got more than 2 bodies on him.
Listen, I will get. Listen, as a man, I'll give a woman one. You know, hey, I killed a man. Okay. You know,
Explain. Yes. Please elaborate.
Yes, let's pause for just a minute. Thank you, KJ.
I need
Hello?
some.
Thank you
Hello?
for making
What? My kids are awake. There's an emergency. Oh, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'll give you.
Don't. Let's not drop the one body on day one. On date
Okay,
one.
exactly.
Okay? Let's
Right,
not
Maybe
do
right.
that.
not day
Yeah.
one. Listen, here's my cell phone number. Call me and we can have the conversation. And maybe like on day 3, when you say I have to tell you something. But like if you drop in the fact that you got a body on you on day 1, I think the interview's over. I think
It's not even.
I gotta
It's
Say
not
no,
even.
thank you.
So
Hard
it's
pass.
not. It's gone
You're
from.
not.
It's
like,
not even just the
Don't
bodies.
call us,
Okay,
we'll
so
call
like
you.
In fact,
when
we
the-
may not be hiring for the part anymore.
when the pandemic broke out, and it's not just about the bodies. I went to the local gas station late one night. I wanted some beer and some cigarettes, right? And I walk in. It's height of the pandemic. I've got a mask on. I'm not even in the door, and the dude behind the cash register's like, oh my God, you're beautiful. I'm like, well, clear you're looking here and not here because my face is half covered.
Ladies and
when-
gentlemen, she gonna tell us about that 12 G's that she spent on them G's.
No, I'm not. Here's the point. When I went up to check out, he asked for my ID, and because I was buying beer and stuff, and he found me on Facebook and started stalking me. But that out, and then the first text I get from him was, "Hey, baby, can you take the 4th letter of the alphabet?" I'm like, wow, that's a good opener. Yes, I can, but now not from you.
It's the lazy, but that's what I'm talking about. Laziness.
Lazy.
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 And a lot of I had guy friends that
Is
they
it
literally swipe right on every single girl on Tinder or whatever. They just go and swipe. They just swipe yes on every single one of them, and then send mass messages out to all of them once they'd filtered through the ones that had liked them too. And it's like, that is just the laziest friggin'. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Saying the same damn thing. As a former seduction artist, I am offended. I am offended by the laziness of these.
There's no effort.
Stuff in their faces full of free hors d'oeuvres and just a jumbled mess of, disarray and poor hygiene. And how many of them do you think went home at the end of the night and just started being angry and resentful about women?
Interested while threads of chicken are hanging from my teeth.
You have chicken bones in your
like a good chicken wing. So if you can't seduce me with that, you're doing something wrong.
And then they'll go get in a group of them and sabotage each other by reinforcing each other's biases, right?
Because
it's like, stop sabotaging yourself and all your friends.
I've been saying this for the longest. Men are jank salesmen. Ladies, here's a secret, okay? I know I'm not supposed to say it, but I don't care no more.
One of you. I have said that multiple times, especially in my TikTok videos that I call the secrets of men, because for 43 years of my life, I stood in the circles of men. I know the things they say. I know the things that they do. They're disgusting.
Hold on.
That's why I didn't want to be one anymore.
Yeah, but Gilbert, y'all didn't know that?
I wouldn't be one if I didn't have to be. That's why when people are like, transition's a choice, it's like,
Yeah, but see, that's the interesting thing, KJ. That's the interesting thing, KJ. When I eliminated men from my dating pool, it was cis straight men. It wasn't trans men, because my therapist was like, you're not having a lot of good luck dating. Have you tried a trans man? I'm like, I have, but they're like a hot commodity. They're all taken. I can't find one that doesn't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a partner. It's like, I would jump on a trans man in a New York minute. Give me one that's single.
That's why us trans guys that are out here trying to sometimes give advice to men a little bit on how to stop self-sabotaging and how to really sit with all of your other weirdo friends and for the next 50 years and convince each other that,
and here is the truth that they can't stand. Trans men make better men than men who were born men.
Sometimes.
Sorry, not sorry.
Listen.
Sometimes, obviously, there's always exceptions to the rule. But
we have
on a general
advantage. We do have home court advantage in some cases.
I will say this much. If I was still single, if I was still single, and I knew that my competition was trans men, I'm stepping it up. Oh,
it started the whole incel movement.
They stay on message boards arguing with me and Gilbert over AEW. Like that's what they do. They get mad at us.
Yep.
They go, I don't like Superplex Party. You know why? I'm gobbling something else. Like I don't go to bed alone. You do. So
hey, let's not get personal now. Come on.
Hey.
While I was trying to figure out when I was younger, like why nobody was attracted, all that kind of stuff. Because I was like, I don't think I'm ugly, and I wasn't. I just didn't have any confidence. I didn't know who I was. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, and people could just smell that, right? But the moment that I transitioned, the sheer volume of interest that I got from women that I didn't even want interest from, do you know what I mean? I had female friends that I had made just after I started, sort of being identified as male by everybody, that I thought we were just being friends. And the next thing I know, I have like 4 women that have a crush on me. And I'm like, whoa, this is different. I didn't have this before.
I don't even, and see, that's the thing. I don't call it an unfair advantage. I just call it, okay, it's the benefit of being able to see it from both sides. A lot of men only see it from one side.
I'll give you guys a funny story.
That I do, and I have to. I always had. Again, I am the product of a single mother. I was not allowed to see it from the misogynistic man's point of view, because I could recite the lines from NWA, but I got to walk in with Martha, and I ain't.
Here's the secret. Before KJ, before you tell your story, KJ, here's the secret. Women prefer men who can express themselves maturely and emotionally, and cis men can't do that, but trans men absolutely can.
I don't know about you. I cried at the drop of a hat. I don't know what you talking
Yes,
about.
there are exceptions to the rule.
Course.
But in general, cis men cannot connect with their emotions. They cannot express them in a healthy,
I find it
mature
harder
fashion.
to connect I find
find
and
myself
there's a whole
crying more than
conversation,
I
different
did.
conversation about that, but
Just like I find myself crying more than I did when I didn't have estrogen to temper me. Back in the days when I was just looking around, I'm like, that bedpost sure looks cute. Like, but that voice has been silent.
puberty at 32 as a boy. You can probably, it was like sleep, food, fight,
That's what-
and another F. And that was, that was all I was
That was it.
Several of the trans men that I've known in my life have said that it was kind of talking about like measuring yourself and all that stuff that it took years for us as
We're on the
sisters.
fast track.
Like,
And
yeah,
I'm
you
still
learn
trying
it inside of months. And I was
I'm
like,
still trying to cope with that
wow.
myself. I'm still trying to cope with that myself because my emotions, like KJ, were sleep, eat, throw my video game controller at my TV, and anger. That was it. Those were my 4 emotions. I mean,
I need you to
and now I have this like whole palette of emotions.
Feeling. I'm not sure, and I have to go looking.
Right.
I have a funny story though, because when you're talking about being able to relate and having sort of not an unfair advantage, but just a different relatability. So I was engaged to a woman for a few years after my transition, and it just didn't work out for a number. We're still fine, but it just didn't work out. But I went overseas to spend 3 months living with her and her daughters in an apartment that wasn't huge. I mean, it was fine.
Was
for us,
that was that your recent trip or a different one?
No, that was like the beginning
Okay.
of 2020, pre-pandemic,
Okay.
right?
Okay, just
So
wanted to
I was
clarify.
there,
They
and
did.
now when I was over there, I had an incident where I gave myself my shot, which by the way is like an 1.5 to 2 inch long needle that I have to jab into my leg once a week.
Thank
So-
God for pills.
I did it a little too quickly, and it didn't and then because I was rationing my testosterone because I was away for 3 months at a time, there was a little bit of a gap between doses. Can I get some food? And we get our food, we go to sit down, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not feeling very hungry. Like, I just don't feel well. I've just been having I don't know, there's something going on with my stomach. I feel a little, and she was like, oh yeah, welcome to the club. That's how I've been feeling all week. And I was like, not moved yet, had sync with her and the girls. So they were on their time of the month, and even though I wasn't experiencing, that part of it, my system was having sympathy pains.
Wow.
Oh.
No,
I
I get it. I get it.
I had
Wow.
forgotten what it felt like because it had been a couple of years, till I was in a house with 3 women
Jeez.
for a couple of
And
months.
you basically sank up with them.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
Damn,
even though there was nothing else, it was just the grams. Yeah, and my ex used to forget that I was trans all the time because she met me afterwards. It was really hard for her to conceptualize that I had been raised in any other way than boy, and I would sometimes have to remind her. And in this instance, she just didn't know what I was laughing my ass off about, and I'm just like, well.
And that's interesting.
Biological
interesting,
Wi-Fi.
KJ. That's interesting, KJ, because I kind of went through an opposite but similar experience. I was engaged. Like, look, I love you dearly. I care about you. I'm just not into girls.
Yeah, very affirming, very sad, but very affirming.
Sad, first of all, because you talk down to me, you condescend to me, you assault me, you insult me like you would any other woman, and
Women.
too much of a girl for me. So
I know.
affirming but sad. Yeah.
I know that that actually happened to somebody I just recently met. They are and stuff like that, but their wife looked him in the face and said, "Nah, I just can't.
I
do it.
can't be with a girl, yeah.
I can't be with
Yeah.
a girl." And
More proof that it's not something you choose. It's how you're
No,
born.
it really isn't. And
that excuse is all really honestly believe that people would choose to be ostracized, hated for no reason, threatened, unalived or unalived. On the villain's view, I say kid. Got a problem with it? Anyway, just treat it like what? Who would choose that?
I say it all the time. I say it all the time. If I could choose to either be happy with the gender or sex I was born as, or suddenly transformed into the sex I identify as, I would take that over being trans any day of the week.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
would never, ever force that or groom anyone to be in this position.
There's all different
right?
types of dysphoria. Mine, I don't really have much since I transitioned, but I would have been fine, like, staying. I did not know that I was in such suffering until I took my first testosterone shot. I slept like a rock that night. The next day I felt great. It instantaneously changed my relationship with food. It instantaneously changed my levels of motivation. I felt suddenly human. Like I didn't know how to human before, and then all of a sudden I got it. Like, it was overnight, and that's before I started to see any effects. I would have loved to have kept my curly, dark, thick hair. Believe me, I would have loved to have,
This is, I didn't choose the insert this life.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't choose trans life. Trans life chose me. Like, you need that. Oh, I'm sorry, Gilbert over there stroking his chin. So, Gretchen, be on the lookout for that, because I'm pretty sure I just sparked an idea, and I can't say that because I know I put out
Gilbert knows the proper channel to address his captain.
I put out something that sounds completely like idiotic, and Gilbert's over there going, "No, I can make that.
I can do that. I can figure that out.
See if we can make that happen."
Yeah, the next thing I know,
No. It's always like this. Say less,
Stuff
fam.
on the website.
yeah, see, and then next
Say
thing I know,
less, fam.
with like
It's just
some,
gonna pop up.
the,
It's gonna be there.
the music from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is playing in the background with a gay character holding up a G or so. I ain't choose the gay light shows. Like I already know. So
Exactly, because the opposite of that is the mob doesn't. You don't quit the mob quits you.
like, seriously, what is it? What are some of the things that y'all, KJ? What are some of the things that you think society as a whole gets wrong about being a trans person, whether it's a trans woman or trans man? What do you think are some of the things that they get wrong?
Some of the things society gets wrong. I think the main thing that society gets wrong. I mean, the one thing to understand is that before I transitioned, I spent my whole life trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I thought it was because I was fat. I thought it was because I was a dork. Like, maybe I was just a nerd. Like, what's wrong? I always felt wrong. I just didn't know what was causing the wrong. And when I finally figured out that it was probably that I'm trans, I did 6 months of just intensive research. And I mean, like, every night I was staying up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just research. Studies, articles, history books, blogs, anybody going through the experience, doctors. And because I wanted to be sure that it was not something that was just like a fleeting feeling, or that I really wanted to be sure that it was a real thing, and that it was a real thing that I had, and I wanted to understand extensively what would happen, because they don't, like, you get this piece of paper, like, well, and where I am anyway, like, it's informed consent for adults. Like, they say, adults, you can do what you want, but we're going to let you know what the effects of this is and all that. But I didn't know what a trans man's body looked like. Like, there were things that I was seeking out to look. And so I learned a lot about gender and sex, and, the fact that it's not as this or that as people seem to think it is. Like, we have certainly dominant trends in biology that go generally one direction or another, but there is a lot of gray in the middle aspect their life, right? So when people sit around and they want to make assumptions about trans people and say, oh, that's fake, and that's this, and that's that, a lot of times they don't even understand how their own bodies work, nevertheless how our bodies work, and, like, how our hormones work. There's so much information that I think the general public is missing. And I think if the general public had that in me, But some of that information is very, very personal. And once you tell somebody, a light bulb comes on and they go, oh, but announcing very personal things about your body to people truly knew more about the ways that hormones affect them and the ways that hormones affect the transition, and that there is not this well, I'll say this: scientists in the 50s went searching for a definitive line between male and female. Like they wanted to find, they've been studying sex for a while and biology, and they wanted to find, because it was very important to them to find this divine line between male and female, to keep the structure of society that we were in. And what they found out is that there's about 6 different biological things that make up somebody's sex, and that somebody can be 5 of those things but not 2 of the other, or all 6, or only a couple. And then they found out that there are far more intersex people that exist in the world that don't even know that they're intersex, right? Mm-hmm. So as they went searching for this defining line, what makes a man, what makes a woman, they found out that it's just a lot grayer in the middle than they ever imagined. And then when they couldn't really say, okay, well, we found the biological line, here it is, in all instances, somebody with this biological characteristic, all instances, is a man. Our culture's idea of gender, because they still needed to police people into a hierarchy. So because they couldn't find that defining line, they went, okay, well, we admit that biology can be a bit ambiguous and more complicated than we maybe thought, and that there's exceptions that we can't really account for. But God made you a gender in your minds. And that is what, so the same way that they made up arbitrary rules about like how to tell whether somebody was black or white, the pencil test that they would put in people's hair.
They're really well. I thought that was a Ricky rumor.
That's fine. We learned that in school. Like I remember hearing, we were talked about that in history class. We were talking about civil rights. It was something that it wasn't necessarily like something. It was, I think, more a colloquial way to do it, but that was. I learned about it at some point. It was not just that they want to try to divide everybody. Like biology is, very more complex than I think people understand, and I think that's what they get wrong about trans people. There are assumptions about us, therefore, are not informed either.
We have also dumbed down. We've dumbed down every sort of thing. We have dumbed down literature. We have dumbed down science. We have dumbed down mathematics. We have done biology for, 20 years. That's their whole thing is studying biology, the biology of water beetles and things of that nature to understand human biology. And then you get some goober who just got a track phone with a cell with cell service and a TikTok account. And they're all like, that don't even make no woman. That ain't one woman.
Science. And you're
like, you born balls. You was a
what
man.
gets me, what gets me all the time is that metaphor or that story over there. Like, what happens if you take 100 men or 100 trans women and 100 men and you put them on an island together, and they're like, well, you get 200 male skeletons in 200 years. Yeah, but you know what? You also weren't there on that island. I'm pretty sure and nobody had to get an abortion because it wasn't necessary.
Well, they keep finding it as they do archaeology. When people bring up this whole bones thing or whatever, they keep finding ambiguously gendered graves of, very likely when they actually measured everything through, but was dressed as and buried as a man with the artifacts to go with it. There was a Polish hero, American war hero that saved George Washington's life, and I was listening the other day to them saying that they found out that he was intersex. Like,
and that's the funny thing. They're always like, what are they going to think when they dig you up in 100 years? First of all, who is digging me up in 100 years?
Yeah, I don't care.
Where is this scenario going?
I mean, 3,000 years from now, maybe I get that. But two, too.
So what?
We can tell.
Plus,
We
I
can tell a
intend to be
person.
cremated, so what?
Yeah, me
Right.
too. Cremated, so
I
it
get
doesn't
that.
matter.
Me too. Me too. But I get that. But like, let's say I'm not. They can, first of all, with people 1,000 years ago, we can dig them up and say, well, they were buried with these artifacts, so they were obviously leaning towards man or woman. But now we live in a society where there's surgery. So, like I say, a trans woman is dug up 100 years from now or 1,000 years. They can see the grind marks if she had facial bones.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's some guys out
And
here
now I'm dead.
arguing with trans women and trans men about what men or women are, but they out here got transgender trucks because you put truck nuts on.
Yeah, they're tacking nuts onto their
Hey,
truck.
hey.
Yeah.
But they
Well,
name
unless
them
unless
female names.
Listen, unless that F-150 Super King cab
Yeah.
with the raised unless it came off the showroom floor with those truck nuts, damn it, you have a transgender truck.
Oh, I
Listen,
got
that truck
the
is
irony-
gender-affirming
so
care.
little Bessie.
Like, that truck is gender-affirming care. Like, don't get anything wrong.
And the irony of that is as I grew up, pretending to be a man, but when I expressed feminine behaviors, I was called a sissy. I was called a girl. People said, "Hello, ladies, how are you?"
Mhm.
But then the minute I say I am a woman, they turn around and go, "No, you're just a dude."
No.
Like, make up your mind already.
You can't have
Alexandra Billings made a really good speech at the HRC a couple of years ago
I love
for a fundraiser.
by the way.
And she said something that really stuck with me. And she said, you can give them facts and you can give them science. I'm summarizing. And you can give them all the information and all the proof. And they don't care because they don't like our freedom. And that has stuck with me because it's made me sort of think about the fact that people in cages, especially ones they built for themselves and convinced themselves they had to stay in, don't like watching people wander around free range.
Of course not.
So,
And that's why we always come back to the fact that equality to those who have been in power feels like oppression.
All right,
but they're oppressing themselves too. Like there's even just making fun of guys who wear nail polish or whatever. Like, they have accepted a cage. Sometimes they've built it themselves and they've sat themselves right in it and convinced themselves that the only way to be is existing within this frame of can't do that. That's a girl thing. And then they get back in their cage. And when we say we're sick of this and break out and just go look happy, that's why they hate Pride so much. We look so freaking happy. And they're sitting in it.
I go back, Pat Oswald joke. Take me with you, gay pride parade.
That is true, and yeah, we're 10 minutes out. So,
so as we always do, and as we have always done, we like to have our final thoughts, and we will start with our guests. First off, KJ, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, it's been great. Thanks for having me.
For closing out Pride Month, and thank you for closing out this very historical show. So you are now part of the Villain family, and if you want to come on and just talk about anything, please let us know. But as we always do, we start with our guests. So KJ, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much. I mean, do you guys have any questions? I guess that would be is there any other?
Or if
you
you have anything you need to push, or
yes, you have a website
or
you can go to. Anything you want to push, anything.
To try to get started, and they have started a nonprofit called Unity Harbor, and that is a place where people who need to escape situations in the United States, whether it be domestic violence and abuse situations, or whether it be laws on their reproductive that put them in danger, because the founder of this had to go septic before that they would give her what she needed to live in the state she was in. So she almost lost her life to the new laws after Roe v. Wade being overturned. So what they're seeking to do is to create a safe space for people. So I to help them get the ball rolling and spread the word. I think they'd really, really appreciate that.
I'm going to switch it up tonight since Gilbert thinks I'm always picking on him. So I will go with Gambit on this historical show. Final thoughts.
Well, I had something just a few minutes ago because I wanted to talk about this because we jumped on religion for just a minute because uh, the structure of everything being like the hierarchical thing, and there's a bunch of people on TikTok that um, there was a man named Ethan Lawless that sadly passed away. He was a member of the LGBTQIA. He passed away recently due to kidney or cancer complications. It calls him kidney dialysis. He was getting treatment. I donated to him several times. He was one of the first people that I followed whenever I got on the app 4 years ago, and he was an amazing guy. He was an atheist, and his whole platform was centered around challenging Christians and other evangelicals and just challenging their thought process. And he was an amazing guy, and I'm gonna miss him. But the worst part is that there are Christians on the app right now that are using his death as a uh, um, point for clicks and likes, and I find that disgusting. And it just goes to show and prove
Reconstructionists, we're talking about you.
Yeah, the I saw that video.
Yeah,
it was
the
awful.
Reconstructionist, and the multiple people in his comments. He turned the comments off because he was getting ratioed so hard. But there was way too many people agreeing with him, which disturbed me. But it just goes to show you there is no hate like Christian love.
Never has been. Never has been.
And those of us, everybody, all of us that have been on the receiving end of it in any way, can testify to that.
Exactly.
All right. Gilbert, final thoughts.
All right. So, I just want to end it with this. Trans men are men, trans women are women, scientifically speaking, if you want to go that route with it. Trans men are men. You want to judge by the level of testosterone in the body, it matches the same as cisgender men. Trans men are men. Trans women are women. You want to go scientific route and measure the level of estrogens between cisgender women, and to say about that. And I turn it over to you, Tommy B.
All right, Miss Gretchen, final thoughts.
I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet tonight. Look, it's the end of Pride, but that's only officially. For me, Pride is, like I said, 24/7, 365, and I am happy to shove it down their throats each and every day of the year. If they could have their wish, the people that hate us could eliminate us today, just snap their fingers and we were all gone. The first of our new generation would be born tomorrow. So all they can do is cope. That's the only thing they can do. So I will close with this. Happy Pride, open wide, and thanks for stopping by.
Joseph, now I got to follow that up. And now for my final thoughts on hot101.net. I got this show because of Jeff Kent, who I consider a brother. I consider a friend, actually. Jeff was the one that approached me and said, "Hey, you want a radio show?" And I remember hanging up the phone and crying. I was in tears. I told my wife. When I started off, I knew I needed co-hosts because 2 hours of listening to me rambling in the wind, it's not going to work. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do a damn morning show, to be honest with you. But through grit, determination, hard work, lots of laughs, lots of tears, lots of anger. This show became what it is. I started off with Victoria and Joker, and we had Mustafa Tell was our first guest. And I started recording and putting them up on YouTube. And through 2.5, almost 3 years of doing this, it has been one of the most incredible things that I have ever done. I now have 3 of the craziest, wackiest, but downright best co-hosts I could possibly ask for. This was never just the Thomas Bishop show. It was never that. The reason I called it The Villain's View is because, damn it, I'm a villain. But it was never just a one-man show. And through everyone who has ever graced one of these boxes, who has ever told their story, who has ever come on and given us any insight, any love whatsoever, this show became this show on hot101.net. So I thanked April and I thanked Lex last week. But more than anything, I am sitting in this chair using the butt system every Sunday because of Jeff Kennedy. He may be that other side of information to you guys, but to me, he will always be my brother and my friend. Gambit, Gretchen, Angry, I called you guys the A-team last week, and I meant every single syllable of it. I could not possibly ask for 3 better co-hosts. This is our show now. It belongs to us. From GCPR.live, you will hear the 4 of us, as always. I will scramble to try to find a guest because it is the beginning of White History Month, brought to you in part by people from marginalized communities. I will not forget that. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, will be the launch of Ghost Claw Productions Radio, where every voice matters. To every DJ on Hot 101, I thank you for allowing me to share space with you. To Lex and April, I thank you for giving me the opportunity. To Jeff Kennedy, I thank you for even bringing this to me. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And onward and upward, let's do something great. And with that, we have come to the end. Last Villain's View, Hot 101. For those of you who have been in the chat, thank you. Randall, 2.5, almost 3 years, thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Whew. Thank you very much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time,